Hey everybody, and welcome to another Arkham Horror discussion video. Today, Travis, Bryn, and myself are going to talk about all of the not grainy, zoomed-in spoilers or cards revealed and previewed that currently exist for the Scarlet Keys. So let's go in and talk about them. We're just going to have some open discussion, our initial thoughts, as well as a few mechanics that may or may not be causing a little bit of... I've seen opinions all across the spectrum for this one. So we'll talk about them here, and I'm excited to hear what you think of them in the comments. But first, let's talk about some nice, boring, this is level 0 card searching effects. Captivating Discovery is a level 1 event. Commits for a book and a foot. It's an insight. Search the top 6 cards of your deck. You may place up to 3 of your clues on your location. For each clue placed in this way, choose and add 2 of the search cards to your hand and shuffle your deck.
I think this card's pretty good.
Yeah, I also think this card's pretty good. Because there's no one that, like... There's a lot of cards that exist that are like, you know, put the clue down, clues matter, but there's no one that really takes advantage of it. I'm pretty confident that Daryl Simmons is going to care about this card. Specifically, like, the kind of the Hawkeye folding camera feeling of when the last clue is removed from a location, something happens. And that's a good thing, right? But even then, the baseline for this card, like the lowest thing, which is just search the top 6, place a clue down.
I mean, the lowest that this can do is search the top 6, then shuffle your deck.
That is true. That is, yeah.
No further texture on it.
Yeah. But if you're doing that, I mean, maybe you want to shuffle your decks really bad, right?
You want to early research stuff.
Maybe you're playing some of those not scroll of prophecies. What the hell is it called? The one-costed scrolls that like you can look at the top card of your deck.
Scroll of Secrets.
Choose to keep it there and then shuffle your deck with this.
Actually, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
And also, like, if you want, it could just be draw 6.
You know?
Yeah, there are fair enough scenarios where, like, you don't need to have your clues to advance. This gives you a good use of them when you're just allowed to draw 6 cards instead, man.
To me, this card reads very similarly to... I forget what it's called, but it's a card from the Lord of the Rings LCG. Where you exhaust 2 of your heroes to draw 5 cards.
Yep.
Because this is pretty much trade a turn for a pile of cards, or trade part of a turn for like very select pieces of the cards on top of your deck. I mean, that card isn't good all the time, but when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah, and there could be moments too where like this card can just like have a unexpected moment where you're like about to die and you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop all my clues on this non-victory location and then just like go. See you on the other side. Yeah, I think the card's sick. I'm excited to play with it. And I don't think it just completely because it's about like the comparison on this is to No Stone Unturned, right? Because it's kind of like the same kind of thing. You have to just sacrifice a clue, 1 less resource, and you get 2 cards instead of just 1, right? But still the top 6.
No, I think it's better off comparing it to like other just generic card draw cards, because like if you're playing No Stone Unturned, you're not playing it to generate card advantage. You're doing it to look for a given card, right? Whereas this is more about how many cards you draw as opposed to like looking for a given card. And it does have the flexibility that you can use it to dig up like a particular card, but that's not what it's best at, I don't think.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this card is probably nuts in Rex decks, but like also, you don't need me to tell you that because it's a yellow card.
Yeah, and he's also
he's in the art.
He's in the art. Yeah. Next one we got here is I'll Take That. This is a 0-cost trick upgrade illicit event. Commits for a book and a foot. Fast. Play when you successfully evade a humanoid enemy or successfully investigate. Play an item asset from your hand, reducing its cost by X, where X is the amount you succeed by. Attach I'll Take That to that asset. Attached asset gains illicit.
It's pretty neat for level 0.
Yeah. Also, just that, like, thank God that it also says successfully investigate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, like, every time that a card like this shows up, it's like Rita's getting better.
Yeah. No, it's actually pretty sweet for the Rita, where you can like evade an enemy and then play a weapon and then hit them with it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you could. Yeah,
it's a shame you can't play ally assets with this and be like, Pete, you're a criminal now.
Oh, that would maybe there will be one day, just like the same kind of space, right?
I think this is a pretty solid level 0 common card for Rogue, actually.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Especially if you're playing a lockpick stack, like
Yep.
You can play anything you want. Doesn't matter. How much does the item cost?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Doesn't matter. These fingerprint kits are illicit because I stole them from that cop over here. Let's go.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a sick card. I don't think there's much more to say. Just that
Yeah.
card seems good.
Yeah.
Card seems good. Field Agent. This is a 4-cost, 2 experience ally agency asset. Takes up the ally slot, of course. Commits for a book and a foot. Have they all committed for a book and a foot? Look at that! Whoa! You get +1 book as a lightning bolt. You can exhaust Field Agent and deal 1 horror to it. Discover one clue your location. 2 and 2 for its damage and horror soak.
You know, it's a great card for Carolyn. Like, very good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine a lot of the blue cards are going to look something like this, where they allow you to do things without making tests, because Carson does not appear to be able to pass tests.
Same with Charlie. They seem to
and,
want Charlie in blue.
Charlie wants allies that do things.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Doesn't matter what the thing is. Just things.
So there was a tweet that someone made that was really funny. I don't know who you are, so I'm sorry I can't give you credit. But it was just finally a beat cop for women, and it was just like, it's just such a funny joke. But yeah, no. If you somehow watch this video and you made that tweet, please let me know, because I would love to get it was just really funny. But yeah, no, the card seems just like
Good.
Yeah, and also like because when we've been playing Trusted in our limited collection run, I'm like, I would love more excuses to play Trusted, and like she is, because like not only getting more clues out of her, but you're also getting like massive meat soak.
Yeah.
Like massive meat soak.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool card. Let's go. Motivational Speech. There's our boy, Charlie Kane. 0 cost, spirit event, commits for a brain and a book. Parlay. Choose an investigator location. That investigator may play an ally asset from their hand, reducing its cost by 3.
One of the coolest things about this card is that Parlay is one of the types of actions you can take while engaged with an enemy without getting beaten for it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Which is, like,
whoa,
pretty cool.
slow
Yeah,
down.
Especially if you're, I don't know, maybe engaged with an enemy that does horror damage, you can be like, oh, and then Pete just shows up and takes the damage, and you're like, yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, there's a couple of investigators I think this is going to be really good for, but in general, it's going to be like so-so.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. Like,
Yeah.
Charlie, obviously, if you're playing Guardian.
Yeah.
Leo would love this card.
Yeah,
right?
I think most Guardians are pretty happy with this
Tommy.
card.
Yeah,
'Cause,
Tommy, yeah.
Like, you know, action compression on your...
Well, it depends how many allies you're playing, really.
Yeah.
But
Because to me,
but
like, if you're
otherwise
doing
you
like
just throw it as like half a guts, and you're like, man, this card sucks.
it's a really generous way of saying for +1 brain.
Yeah. It actually is kind of funny. Half a guts. It sounds a lot.
What better
Than
than
one
+1
brain.
brain?
Look, I thought we were trying to be positive.
Yeah. I think like if you're like playing like a set it and forget it. This is in the Discord. A lot of people. I felt like I was like being like no, but like I do think that if you're playing a set it, like you have an ally out forever, this card's not great. If you are wanting to churn through allies, it goes up a lot, right? If you have a lot of allies in your deck as well, or if you're playing in a table where you know there's going to be a lot of allies too, because you can use it on other people. I think the value really goes up there.
Yeah, it is a way to make Carson Sinclair do things.
Yes, as I go to I think Carson Sinclair might be the next slide, so fingers crossed. But really, there have nothing else to say. Are you guys good to go on this one? Yeah. I think the card's just...
Yeah, like, I mean, being a spirit is solid. I mean,
Yeah,
you can play it in Calvin.
Yep.
You can find it with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I mean, it's actually, on that note, it could work with Nacho, because your money goes into other
like
things
you do,
too,
and
right?
you do have your signature. Anybody whose signature is an ally.
Yep.
Like, that's probably a solid thing, because you are likely playing other allies in your deck too.
Yep, definitely.
Because you don't want to just show up and be like, I have one card for my ally slot, and if I don't see it, then that's not good.
And as we know, worst case, we now call it half a guts. That's like Carson Sinclair. So one thing to be aware of, Carson Sinclair, we do not know his backside. I assume it's a scrawny old man butt, but we'll see when we get the other side revealed. But there are some rumors going around and like some spoilers, but none of it's official. So as we always do on this channel, we don't talk about it till things are, like actually released. But we'll talk about kind of the ideas of the characters of what we know here. But Carson Sinclair's 2s across the board. He's an assistant. You may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used on the action ability below. Action, choose an investigate location. They immediately take an action as if it were their turn. Limit once per round for each investigator. His Elder Sign effect is +0, draw 1 card. You may resolve this effect anytime another investigator at your location resolves their Elder Sign effect. As You Wish is his signature, commits for 3 wilds. It's practiced and expert. Commit only to a skill test being performed by another investigator. If this test succeeds, the performing investigator draws 1 card. If this test fails, you draw 1 card. Put Selfless to a fault. This is his signature weakness. In your threat area, at the end of your turn, if you did not commit at least 1 card to a skill test being performed by another investigator this turn, take 1 horror and shuffle Selfless to a fault to your deck. Notably, it doesn't go away.
Ever.
Yeah.
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 I'm not bothered by the fact that he is a non-solo investigator. I think it's time in the game's life for something like that to exist, right? Like if you're playing true solo and you're mad about this, you have a million other investigators to play.
You also have a million other things to be mad about.
Yeah.
But like, to me, I just feel like something's missing. Because I remember when I was reading the announcement article and they were like, you can use your As You Wish to help you get out of binds. And then I looked at it and I'm like, this is like what I use to get out of binds. Like this seems like something that I should be able to use multiple times.
What's the card number on As You Wish, or is that too blurry?
It's too blurry.
Because like if he gets like 3-ish copies of As You Wish, like I don't know, maybe Stella Clark.
Yeah.
Like because this is worse than Stella's card.
So much worse.
Yeah, it's gotta
Like,
be.
notable.
He's gotta get. Yeah, it's gotta get multiple.
So like
copies.
if he gets like 2 or 3 of those, like all right.
And like
That's
Selfless
a step in
to
the right direction.
Selfless to a fault too, because it doesn't go away. I mean, like it's pretty easy to commit a card to a skill test, right? But
It is also fairly easy to just take horror if you know.
you're a guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you get to play with blue cards.
Mm-hmm.
You can manage that.
I do think the ability is like just one action. Like someone gets an additional action at the table. I think like that's a nice ability. Like it's good, but I'm not that like excited about Carson.
The thing I'm excited about to play with this guy is like, firstly, if he can't play level 2 blue cards, I'm checked out. I don't care anymore. I don't want to play this guy. But is to play him with Safeguard and just be like, you got to push me around in the wheelchair. I'm never taking a move action.
He's got to be able to play Safeguard. He's gotta. Yeah.
Like, let's go. I'll make you do your thing better. I don't know what you do your whatever.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that he, like, players are gonna, like, really enjoy playing him or dislike him. There has to be something going on with his deck building for him to not just be, like, a bot like Min was in 2nd edition, where you're like, I follow someone around and do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for, like, if you're hosting the game. Because then, like, you can keep track of the game and just be like, everybody gets an extra action. Safeguard, go.
On that note, that actually does seem good. Like, if 3 players are learning the game,
Yeah.
you can just be like, I'm going to be Carson and just help you, do better.
You know Leo DeLuca? That's me.
But, like, also in that
That's
note
what
as
I
well,
do.
like, you can also just do
health.
better by just, like, winning the game with them by playing an investigator that, like, might win the game.
You show up with Mandy and you're
Yeah.
like, ooh.
I just think his fronts, like I said, like, there's something missing that makes this makes a bit more sense. Yeah. I am excited, though, for Carson, Preston. Bryn, you and I have to do that. Also, when we do our all Carson run eventually, that's going to be...
Like, yeah, there has to be something going on with his deck building that lets him do something.
Yes, yeah. Because, like, even, like, because he has, like, he's like Lola, right? Like, 6'6", shitty stats. Like, he's like Amanda, but without, like, the line that we see that makes him good.
So here's what we do.
Yeah.
We get, like, Nathan or Patrick or somebody to come play with us, and we just show up to the table with, like, a Calvin deck, a Preston deck, and a Carson deck, and we're just like, we ain't got numbers.
That would be
We
good.
don't do that.
That would be good. That would be good. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about him. You guys good if we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got Mina Zidane. So she's the operator. She has 3s across the board, so she is, as you already can tell, better than Carson. She's chosen and cursed. Soaks are 5 and 9. When you play an asset as a reaction, you can reduce its resource cost by 3 and it enters play with 1 Doom on it. Elder Sign effect is +2. You may move all Doom from a card of your location to another card of your location. And then the specials, the signatures, are Word of Wheel. which is fast. This is their zero cost event. Fast play when you perform a skill test on an asset with one or more Doom on it. Add your brain to your skill value for this test. Then, if Word of Woe is in your discard pile, you may shuffle it into your deck. Word of Woe is a 2-cost event. Fast play only during your turn. Place one Doom on an asset you control. Resolve an action ability on it, ignoring all of its cost, including its action cost. Then, if Word of Wheel is in your discard pile, you may shuffle it into your deck.
I'm just gonna probably paste a picture of Mina Zidane onto this investigator, because I'm gonna go around headbutting guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that card ability's quite good.
Yeah.
3 free resources every turn is pretty strong. Depends a little bit on what they print for Doom cards in the set.
Yep.
For sure. Her stats pretty lackluster.
Just use her ability. Like, I'm gonna play these painkillers. Yeah, they got a Doom on them.
Yeah, we don't know her deck building either, which makes it pretty tough to evaluate her, but so that's 5 hearts. If she can only play Mystic cards or whatever, then that's gonna be like a tough place for her to be, but
Yeah.
if she can play, Guardian cards or something else dumb, then like, yeah, sure.
She probably won't be able to play Guardian cards, because that would make her incredibly similar to Diana.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like because there's nothing really going, but I love the kind of the line that's potential to exist with Seal of the Elder Sign or whatever it is, that one card that you love, and then like move it to an enemy and then just like kill that enemy. Seems like a fun line. But there's not much. I'm just curious to see how else it evolves for this character.
This card has limitless griefing potential.
Oh yeah.
Like, Wizard of the Order's in play. Your team's like, we gotta kill it. You hit your Elder Sign, and you're like, his doom's on me.
Yeah. But what's really exciting about Mina is that Marie is going to get a bunch of new cards too.
Yep.
Because there's going to be more Doom cards. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I think like the 3s is a really strange stat line for a Mystic. So there's got to be something else going on here too.
They must be looking at playing cards that let you use your other stats in Mystic for
Yeah.
Doom.
Yeah, like I know the one they've shown off already, the Sickle. It's like I could use my punch, but I could also use my brain.
Yeah.
It just says I can use my brain.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the customizable cards.
The literal elephant-sized text box in the room.
So these are going to be a beast to read, but okay, we're going to just I'll just say this right now. We know how this works, but we can't share that yet. So we're going to talk less about, I think, like how the card actually works, but more like the mechanic. Because the mechanic is heavy. It's involved, right? And it has potential for a lot of memory issues, right? However, for people who like this kind of thing, it has a lot of potential to build your own cards, which can be pretty fun. Bryn, I know Travis's thoughts on it, but what do you think of these ones?
So like I forget what my cards do when they say what they do on them. I'm likely gonna forget what my cards do playing with these all the time. That being said, like it is an interesting design to take, and like it was bound to happen sooner or later, because there's only so many kinds of effects you can do within the bounds of the game. It's like, I mean, this card in particular is cool. I like this card.
Yeah, I think my thoughts on them is that it's cool, but I need to see how it plays before I can really like get married to the idea, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to buy a bunch of like wet erase markers, because there's no way I'm using any of that. Like, I'm gonna make my own. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So this is the thing too, that the idea is that you mark these cards. So there's a lot of ways to do it in your own way. Fantasy Flight is providing a printable sheet. However, it is a little bit unfortunate that like a game mechanic in your box doesn't allow you to just interact with that mechanic repeatedly, right? That's a totally fair thing. However, for if you ways to go about it, Dry erase markers on sleeves is really good. I'm going to be, my fiance has a laminator. I'm going to be laminating mine and then just doing the exact same thing and just keeping them like there. You can also just write it on like a piece of paper, right? Like with all that. However, it is just something to be aware of is that there's going to be a limited number of these in the box that come with it, which is a little bit of a bummer as well.
Yeah.
Travis.
Yeah, like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of cards. Like, if I'm playing a card in a card game, my card should just say on it what it does. I shouldn't need to have like another reference to figure it out.
Yeah, I think...
I don't like that. I will have to print off or find a way to reuse these. It's like a kind of a neat mechanic, but it feels... I don't know. Like, you could just print us a set of cards that, like, don't have a gimmick one time. You have a lot of cool mechanics in your game that you haven't really fully explored. You could just explore those more instead of dumping another gimmick on us every Investigator expansion.
My hope is that because this player box is going to be more involved on the, like, for these kind of cards, that Scarlet Keys, the campaign... because the structure is so different that the scenarios are nice and simple, right?
Yeah,
which would be like a good balance. Because like the reality is, this is something that like with design that we've talked about before, is that when the designer starts something, they probably have a few goals in mind, right? And there also is like a limited number of design like your players can only take so much stress, right? And this is a lot of like design stress to put on the players. They're cool.
The game already has a ton of design stress.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, like, hopefully then my hope is that it turns out to that they're balanced. I think of all the cards, these are the easiest. This is the easiest one to, like, because, like, we get to some of the others. We'll get back to this as we, like, talk about them. But, like, yeah, like, there's a lot. I think this one's also, I love this little alien that you can summon.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the thing. I think the reality is that these cards were designed to be cool.
Yeah,
right?
they're going to be cool, but I think they're going to be miserable to play with. Like, playing with one of these isn't too bad, I don't think, if you're only going to, spend the 3 experience or however much you can spend or whatever to upgrade one of the things. But, like, if I have multiple upgrades on them and I have multiple customizable cards in my deck, that's just too much.
Yeah. Like, it would be nice if there was just in the rules that was just like, hey, just so you know, we made a rule you can have 1 customizable card in your deck. Like, just like that won't be the... But I think the reality is that, like, we've seen all of the Guardian and all of the Mystic ones of these. There can't be more of it. The design space is just, like, it's too much. That I imagine there's going to be, like, 2 per class. That's kind of my thought.
But there could be more.
I just don't think there will be, though.
But there could be.
There could be, but I don't think there will. Just what my gut feels.
Yeah, like, these do provide more space from the designer's perspective to, like, print level 0 cards. Because these take up, like, a lot of the sort of upgrade space.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get what we're going for here, right? Like, it's supposed to be a bigger, sprawling campaign, and they want these to be, like, legacy cards.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, this isn't a legacy game.
Yeah.
And, like, it can't be.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe, like, this is, like, all just our thing. Like, we play it and we're actually like, oh, this ain't that bad. Like, because, like, you choose your upgrades. But also, like, it could be. Like, we don't know. We won't know until we try it out.
I think this is, like, very much designed for a lot of the more casual players who are just going to play through a campaign. They play through a campaign every 6 months or whatever.
Yeah. I also look at this one, too. Like, when I saw this card, I was like, this is just not for like, spikes. They'll just look at this and they'll be like... No.
There's just too much.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the armor one is, like, real easy to grok, but some of them do get much more complicated.
Like, this one has just so much.
Like, the entire card is filled up with text, and then you have another full card's worth of text. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how... And, like, they're all options. That's a ton of information overload. Like, if you hand this to... Like, no new players can be able to play with this. You hand it to them, you're like, okay, which one are you doing when you kill a guy? And they're like,
And, I mean, actually, on that note, too, like, this is also important for us to note as content creators, because we can be like, do you recommend we get Scarlet Keys as our first box? And the actual answer, if we want to be, like, good content creators, is probably not. The player cards are very expensive.
If they're, like, this complexity.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just using some hidden information to count some things. Okay.
Defeats an enemy, choose draw a card. Yeah. You can do as many different inscriptions as you want. God. Why, man?
Yeah.
Why you got Prince?
Well, because it's exactly what you said. It's the rule of cool, right? Like these cards are cool, and they are for this like players who play a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? But there's really like nothing to like. I don't really have much to say. I think like obviously like durable and hallowed, where you get +2 health, +2 sanity, nice and easy, right? The soak just goes up.
Yeah, I mean most of this one, I think the upside is that the things that the boxes you're ticking here, it's just like, do you want this half or this half?
Yeah.
Do you want both halves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like after it's assigned damage, what would you like to be exhausting your armor to have it do?
Yeah. Yeah. This
Do you
one.
need your body slot?
It has a lot. This one as well is a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a cool card. Like once again, like all these are cool.
Also just word vomit.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, it's power word. There has to be a lot of word on it. That's the.
Well, no, it's power word. There should be a word on it.
Yeah.
And that word is
kill.
fast or
It's
kill.
usually
Yeah.
kill. Power word kill.
Yeah.
Like how much health do they have? Is it 100?
Yeah.
It's not enough.
And then this one also has a lot. This is my favorite one though because it's just fun to imagine your little alien.
Another asset you control. Actually, I didn't bother to read all these ever. There's just I got like halfway through and I was like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
There's too much text.
Yeah.
Take one action, only do the following. Moves to connecting location. Well, that's useless.
Yeah. So you can give him health. You can have him fight. You can have him evade. I think this one's really simple because like the boxes are it's just like it's like a Duke style thing, right?
Yeah, like what do you want this guy to do?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also free.
Yeah.
For the low cost of 2 of your slots that are not free.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like the design of this card where, like, because I think, like, this one is actually also.
Oh, we like how they want you to circle a word on the card. That's great design.
But it's, I like the one where it's, like, the synergy here that exists with the Doom, where, like, the Doom cards, like, with, the new Mystic Investigator, where you can get rid of a card that's in play. You can get it to also return it to your hand if you want to do some things. But I don't have much more to say on it until we start seeing it in action. Yeah. Yeah, because there is a lot. But hey, I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people online say it's too much for them, and I've seen a lot of people say they can't wait to build with them. And like, it's better for a design sometimes to have that kind of big thing, like to have the differences, right? Because if there was a design that was just everyone was like okay on it, that's probably not great design. However, I also agree with you, Travis. I would love for the next box to just be like, here's a bunch of monocolored basic cards.
We
right?
don't need we don't need. I mean, multicolored cards weren't too bad, but we don't need curses and blesses. We can. I mean, that was the last time, or that's when we really started giving us gimmicks in our player cards. Like, you don't need a new player card gimmick for every set or a new mechanic in them because, like, you can just play with them. They don't need to feel different. The campaigns are a little bit different because you want them each to feel very distinct, but your player cards you don't need to be able to tell what set they came from because, like, who cares? You're just going to mix them in with the others anyway.
I just want to take that card and like spend whatever sort of resource I need to get it to be able to take 2 different actions while it can only take 1 action.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
That's all I want.
We got some nice normal cards now.
Yay.
We got Grievous Wound. I love this card. So this is a 1-cost tactic event. Commits for 2 fist. Fast play to successfully attack a non-elite enemy using a melee asset. Attach Grievous Wound to the attacked enemy. At the end of the round, deal 1 damage to the attached enemy. Just go make them start bleeding.
Yeah, it's like cool. You can't hit non-elites or can't hit elites.
Because why can't I just slowly kill?
I mean, like, actually, though, yeah.
Yeah, right. Like
I don't think this card is great.
Yeah.
Most enemies you're looking to kill in 1 attack. Like, you can... like it does the damage at the end of the round, so like you can't even really like scum
I think when this
an
one's
extra damage out without taking an attack.
I think when this one's gonna wake up is when we get a guardian investigator that cares about evading enemies. That's when that's when this card's gonna really like find a home. Because right now it's like cool and flavorful, but it's not like exactly impactful, right? Because it's like why don't I just I'm using a melee asset, I'm not using bullets, why don't I just hit it again, right?
Yeah.
But I think that when you get like who's gonna like evade, stab, right? Like that's when it becomes a bit more exciting. Yeah. Because I mean, like this could be good with Switchblade with what's his nuts? Skids O'Toole, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you're playing Skids.
Yeah, you're playing Skids.
and
Yeah.
playing
You have to hit with the melee
Switchblade.
asset. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things got to go right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you want to kill something with this, you have to hit it in the first place, and then you still have to like find a way to entertain it while it dies.
Yeah.
And like, if you're in a position where you can hit with a melee asset, you've probably like built your deck to do that. So just hit him again.
I wish that this card was like after an investigator makes a successful attack, because then I could be like, oh, this is like what Carson would do.
Yeah.
Right. But
this doesn't really make sense flavorfully for that, but
no. And then you just come and you just with the little letter opener just. Yeah. No, I think the card's just it's the flavor of it's cool, but yeah, it's kind of a little.
It does read a little bit like a janky extra copy of Vicious Blow.
Yeah.
And like it does commit for 2-punch, so there's always that going for it.
Yeah. It reads like a Survivor card, doesn't it? Like one of the
Kind of, yeah.
something's wrong here. Something's
this
wrong.
card's
Here.
neat if like to face Rhea could play it or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Helping Hand. Scary big hand in the art. It's a skill. You commit Helping Hand to any type of test, max 1 committed per test. While Helping Hand is committed to a skill test, double the skill icons of each other card committed to that test.
that seems pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like
you have to have another card for it to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a second copy of
that card.
yeah.
Just the icons, yeah. Like, not the text, so it's not like the one forbidden card, whose name I forget because it's
Double.
forbidden, yeah.
Double or nothing.
Double or nothing, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I was close. Like I have it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the card, like, even if, like, someone's, like, committed unexpected courage, you can now be like, oh, here's another one, right? Like, then it's just an unexpected courage, yeah.
Yeah, you can use it to dig, like, people have a bad stab, a hole or whatever, where your green characters, I have to make a brain test, and, your mystic's like, fine, here's a, uncage the soul or whatever, and you're like, sweet.
It also is obviously, like, here for, like, Carson for the succeed by X's that we're going to see, right? Because, like, it helps with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this card is really good for, like, if you are playing with a rogue, because there are some really good rogue skills that commit for, like
Winifred's?
big
Anything
number.
you can do better?
Yeah,
and just,
right.
like...
Just like, what's your test value? I don't care.
Auto fail!
Yeah. Give me the red token.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yeah, card's cool. Yeah. All right, we got what are probably gonna be our mystic spells for this set.
That's great. Mystics had garbage hand slot cards for the most part.
Yeah.
So
I think I like both of these cards a
Charms.
lot. So we got Ceremonial Sickle. It's a 3-cost asset. Takes up a hand slot, commits for a fist because it's the fighting one. As an action, you can fight, either use your brain, or you get +1 fist for this attack. When you initiate the ability, choose one. Exhaust it and place 1 doom on it to get +1 skill value and deal +1 damage with this attack. If this attack defeats an enemy, remove 1 doom from it. The Dowsing Rod is it's 4 cost. When you can use your brain instead of your book when you're investigating. You can place 1 doom on it to move to a connecting location, or when discovers the last clue to the location, remove 1 doom from it.
they're both fine.
Yeah, so notably, one thing to be aware of is that you can choose the second option even if it would not be the last clue or defeat an enemy, if you don't want to add doom to it. Which is good, because otherwise it would be a little bit of a...
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
How come the Dowsing Rod only takes up 1 hand slot?
They are using 2 hands, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I mean, I think the cards are they're just fine. They're more exciting than a spell where you just have to, like, do the thing.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah, you gotta make choices.
Yeah, it is a way to solve the problem that they kind of work themselves into like every cycle needs one of these because the base, like the core set, doesn't have it.
You think they would have fixed that with the revised core?
They kind of did.
They kind of did. They got added the.
Kind of.
They had Rise Seeking.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see more. There's nothing. It's a Mystic card. Like, what else is there to say?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. That's it. Holy cow. Back to this one.
Yeah, those might be neat in Dexter.
I think this card's pretty good.
Because you got a lot of things you want to do with spell slots like haste, like me but fast. You know?
Yep. Yeah.
Get to use these instead.
I mean, these seem wonderful for a flex Mystic too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like just the like there's a reason why Duke is good, and like these are kind of just like Duke for a lot of Mystics, right? Like the moving to get a clue can be really strong, and then the frick, do you guys hear that noise? Anyways, one thing to note as well is that because the cost of exhausting is not part of the action, you can use the dowsing rod, exhaust it to place a doom on it, move to a connecting location, and then you can use it again. You just can't choose the exhaust dowsing rod, but you can choose the remove one doom if you discover the last clue. Because the exhausting is not part of the action for the investigate. Or if it doesn't say if this is not ready. Which is relevant, because then you can move, get like a bunch of clues, and be like, we're A-okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously as well, these are really nice because like you put them into play with I haven't internalized her name. Mina Zidane. Because they cost 0 and 1, right? And then you can just remove the doom from it. So they're very strong with her, apart from the fact that her skills, her stats are kind of...
I mean, you get to use these at 4, so...
Like that's the number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the Holy Rosary out that all
Not
mystics
so bad.
need.
Yeah, then all your
Can still
numbers
do
are
them at
4.
four?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. What do you guys think of the cards for everyone who watched this at home? Most notably about the customizable cards, because they are like the big thing for this one. And then also, what do you specifically think of the new green card that lets you play illicit cards? Because that card is a good time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great one. And as always, a GG's.